In today's episode, we are talking about project planning for 2026 and using up the stash, or at least most of the stash. A good portion of it? Some of it before we go buy new stuff. So, project planning. We have how many? I made a list. See, list. I can make 22 things, not including scrappy socks and scrappy projects, without having to go to the store. 22. I I started and finished, like 25 things in 2025? So I could, in all reality, go the entire year without buying yarn. Probably not going to do that though, because there are things that I want to make that I don't have the yarn for. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over what I plan on making with what I have. Some of these you've probably seen because I never got around to doing them the last time. And actually, you know what? I think a good portion of them I've maybe talked about. We're going to talk about them again because if I keep talking about them, they will get made, right? There's also other projects I want to do, and that's some sewing projects. I want to use my sewing machine. And eventually I want to get a serger. I can't justify the purchase of a serger at the moment because I'm not using my sewing machine. You see where this is going? And I have knit. No, obviously. I have to sneeze. I also have some embroidery and cross stitch projects that I want to do. And I feel like I know I spend all of my time on knitting when I have all these other interests and skills, and I don't utilize them. So let's plan. Okay? We're going to first start off with the sewing machine. Okay? I have these two fabrics that I picked up in springtime, early 2022, and I still haven't used them. I bought them for specific purposes. There's to be skirts. Okay, and I bought the patterns. I have the yarn. Yarn. Wow. Fabric. I have the patterns. I have the fabric. I even washed the fabric. There's a doggy. And I haven't got around to sewing the skirts. I have since then acquired more skirt patterns. And so I don't remember what the original ones were supposed to be. This is the chicken pirate. I got this at Costco a while ago, and she loves it. We're probably going to have a dog here every now and then. So let me show you the fabric. First, I have cherries. Okay. Because it's adorable. And it is somewhat see-through when you hold it up to the light. It's a little see-through. So I was going to need to line it anyway. The problem is I don't remember what skirt pattern it was going to be. Was it going to be the ruffled tier skirt? Was it going to be a knee-length A-line thing? I don't remember. I just know that I have enough yardage for it. It's been washed, and I just need to make it. Same thing with my knitting projects. I have the yarn and the patterns. I just need to make them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out which skirt pattern, maybe get a different one. Haven't decided, but this is going to get used. And then this is dandelions. Is that adorable? This is also going to be a skirt. It has also been washed, and it's just waiting for me, just like the doggy. I don't, can you, she's in my head. We're gonna have to do something with the dog after this. Skirts. I need to make these into skirts. I need to figure out which pattern it was or get a new one, but these will be skirts. And then I also have a bunch of remnants that I bought at Joann and Hobby Lobby. And a lot of them are, well, not a lot of them. Some of them are some gingham. And then others are Christmas. And I have a good variety that I want to make a quilt out of. Only problem is I don't quilt. I've never made a quilt. I have a friend who is the queen of quilting. She can help me. I can ask her. And I want to do that. I also have a whole bunch of jeans. Please tell me you also save the jeans that the kids wear the knees out of, or they grow out of them before they actually have a chance to wear them fully, or like my favorite pair of jeans got a hole in an inappropriate place. And there was no way I could reasonably fix that and have it still look okay. And so they are sitting in the to be used for something jean pile. I have a bunch. I want to make a denim quilt with those as well. Maybe even an apron? Like cut the butt off, like cut the top part off, cut the top in half or something. Use the butt pockets for apron pockets. Possibly. That might be cute. Would that be cute? We'll figure out if we can do that. So I also want to make that. And then there's more. I also have this flannel. I have a felt jacket thing, overcoat thing. I don't know. I wear it in the winter over my sweaters because I need just a little extra layer and the sweater is just fine. Anyway, the lining on that has ripped. It ripped several years ago and I honestly could have just fixed it then. But did I? No. So the rip is in the center back and then also along the shoulder. The shoulder or the underarm on one of the sleeves. And I need to fix that lining. Hello, my love. When I'm done, we'll do something, okay? And because it's been a little while, you can see the doggy. She's right there. The tear has grown, and I can't, maybe I can, haven't looked too closely, reasonably seam it back together. But I want to repair the lining of that jacket, maybe even replace it with this flannel. Now, that would probably entail taking the whole thing apart. True story. Yeah, true story. It would probably entail taking the whole thing apart. And since I'm wearing it because it's cold outside. The funny thing is she's been ignoring me all morning, but the moment I sit down to do this, she starts being whiny. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So repair or replace the lining in the coat. I want to do that. It's probably a springtime, summertime thing. All right, so it turns out these are all embroidery kits. I didn't pick up a cross stitch kit. I want to work on that some more. I haven't done that in a year or a little more, but the next kit that my youngest picked for me to complete is this. Isn't that adorable? So I need to do this. Maybe this will be a springtime project because, you know, there's daisies. And then I picked up some Christmas embroidery at Michael's in this last month and a half. And I obviously never got around to making them. because I was just busy with other things. I accidentally stepped on this one, so it's got a little squished. But maybe do these for Christmas in July instead of knitting. So there's this wreath. And then these little ones can also be ornaments. These are 2.5-inch hoops. So probably be good for ornaments. And then there's this one. So I also want to work on those because sometimes well, not sometimes. The yarn is always calling to me. I always, oh, good, she didn't bump you. I always have something to work on the yarn, but I can't neglect the other hobbies and skills. Which brings me to what I want to do in 2026 in terms of stash busting. So I have 16 things that are not socks, and I have 6 socks that I can do. Maybe 7, 8, maybe a few more without having to buy yarn and without having to get scrappy. That's quite a lot. Um, let's start with whatever's right on top. Now, a lot of these, most of them are from Expression Fiber Arts. So this first pattern is inspired by butterfly wings. No, I'm just going to pop a picture and it's much easier. This is the Papillona shawl, and it uses the Amal fingering. I don't rightly remember if they have this in stock. Here's the answer if they do or not. So here's my colors. Now this yarn base is 60% baby alpaca, 20% linen, and 20% mulberry silk. This is going to be the most beautiful butterfly wing inspired shawl. And then we have some fingerless mitts. These are called the Mackin mitts. I think I also put these on my list to make last year, never did. These use the Luster Sport base. And here's my colors, because you need 2 colors because it's a stranded knit project. So I've got garnet and a lavender skein. This is one of the oopsies. The oopsie just means the dye didn't do its job correctly, and there's something basically minor with the yarn. So I need to make the fingerless mitts. These might be the first thing that I do, so that way I can have them for when it's cold. I mean, I do have a heated steering wheel, but these are just adorable. So these as well. Now, unless I tell you otherwise, everything comes from Expression Fiber Arts. It's just easiest that way. And ironically, this next one does not come from Expression Fiber Arts. This is yarn that I frogged from a leopard print sweater. I wasn't digging it. I did. Leopard print is not for me. Okay. So I frogged it. It used 3 colors, and it's the Lion Brand Trubu yarn. So it's that rayon from bamboo. And here's the 3 colors. Now, I have every intention of making another stripe hype sweater in this yarn because this is a DK, a sport weight or a DK weight yarn. Okay. And I can make a stripe hype out of it. That would be so silky and smooth because I obviously need a third stripe hype sweater. And yeah, I love the stripe hype so much. Stripe hype sweater out of bamboo yarn. And then we have a shawl that I have made before, but I did the bind off wrong and there's no stretch to it and it not crumples, it scrunches up like a sad little potato. So I bought yarn to redo it. This is the Nautile shawl and it uses the pearlescent worsted weight base from Expression Fiber Arts. And the yarn that I got for it is called Iceland. Okay. Now, the first time I did this, I was using big box acrylic yarn in one of the pinks that are up there that's hiding behind something else. And making it was so fun. But the bind off, I did the wrong bind off because I have words. It's a semicircle shawl. And so you bind off on the outside edge and it's curvy. I didn't know any better, so I did a standard bind off and there's no stretch to it and it goes. So I bought the yarn to redo it. Have I redone it yet? Obviously not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it right now. And then we have another shawl. This is the De La Calle. Now this one has a crochet sister pattern too. So it's the same thing, just, crochet. This one uses the Sparkle DK base. I picked the color Pegasus. Were you able to see that sparkle? So I need to make this as well. However, this little fluffy butt right over here, this is before she started leaving my yarn alone. She got to one and it's a tangled mess. I can fix it. It will just take time. It was not like it's still tied up like this. Like the ties are still on it. So I just need to find them and straighten it all out and all will be well. So there's another shawl. Now I bought this in 2024. Obviously did not get to it. This is Knit Picks City Tweed, the DK weight, in these colors. And this is for the Alaska sweater. Obviously, this is the trees and this is the background color. I picked the green because I felt like it best, that sounds weird, represented the Northern Lights best. Okay, I want to make the Alaska sweater. And eventually I also want to make the Alaska hat because matching set. But I don't go outside in the cold that often. So why do I need a hat? We're going to make the matching set anyway. And then next up is a blanket that I started 2019? 2018. Where were we living? We were living in Idaho Falls, so this had to have been 2019, 2018. Somewhere around there, 2018, 2019, I started this blanket. And I got the brilliant idea to make it more than just a lap size throw blanket, so I wanted to make it bigger. I have obviously not finished it. This uses the Lion Brand Vanna's Choice, and I'm using the color mustard. Is Vanna's Choice even available anymore? I have no idea. So I got pretty far. And then I frogged the entire thing. I think I have a video of me frogging it, but I have several balls of the frog yarn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 more frogged balls in here because I made it wider. I want to make it again because it's gorgeous, but we're not going to make it any wider. We're just going to make it the normal size that it's supposed to be. And we're going to call from there. I most likely will have leftovers. Probably. I don't know. I obviously have not worked on this for years because I frogged it. But we're going to retry. And then there's this. This is Plongé, also Expression Fiber Arts, using the vellum fingering base. I don't think they have this anymore. This is 70% baby alpaca. 70% baby alpaca and 20% mulberry silk and 10% yak. So I'm using these two colors. This is Overcoming and Sense of Wonder. I don't remember what this is. Oh, that's right. It's a shawl. It's a shawl. It's adorable. It's supposed to be 3 colors, I believe, but I only have the 2. No, 4 colors. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's supposed to be 4 colors, but I have 2. Totally, it's going to be totally fine. Then this next one is a shawl wrap thing with arms. Okay. This is also Expression Fiber Arts. It is Embrasser. This uses the signature fingering. It is 30% linen, 30% mulberry silk, and 40% baby alpaca. This is the color Secret Destination. Now, in their signature fingering, they have their signature color in it. It's this teal, specks of teal that you see. So I have several of these, but they go to different projects. So this is for Embrasser. That's going to be cute. I'm going to make this for spring. Okay, this will be a springtime thing for over dresses when a sweater is too heavy. Yeah. It stopped recording randomly for some reason. I think we're fine. I don't know. Andante. And I should probably look it up to see what it is. This also uses the signature fingering, and I'm using 4 colors for this one. All right, so this is another shawl. We are using the color Stories to Tell, Trek, Open Window, and Adventures. Also very beautiful and very spring-like colors. Something else to make for spring. And then there is Colette. This is a cardigan. And I'm using the bamboo alpaca base. It's 80% viscose bamboo and 20% alpaca. And this is the color Forever Memories. Okay. Also, again, a springtime thing. I have many springtime knits, don't I? Couple are actually crochet, but that's fine. So again, I have that. Now, this yarn, the reason why I have it is because it was on their clearance closeout. They were getting rid of it, and so I bought it. This is before I made my rule of I need to have a reason to buy it. That's why I have that. And then I have, why do I have this? This is the ephemeral fingering in the colors Layla and Bailey. I don't remember why I got this. I didn't write down the pattern. I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out and I'll put it right here what this is supposed to be, if it was supposed to be anything. Okay. And then we have the sweater that I was so excited to make in the fall, but I never got around to it. And that is Port Townsend. And the yarn is Expression Fiber Arts. It's the Beacon DK and the Smoke and Cinder hues. That is going to be a gorgeous striped sweater when I finally get around to it. Okay, I think my camera's overheating. Right. Port Townsend, striped DK. Striped DK sweater. And then I bought the yarn for the Arnie and Carlos Christmas stocking knit along, and I never got around to it. So I want to do that too. Maybe as a Christmas in July thing. Okay, here we go. Again, where was I? Arnie and Carlos Christmas stocking for 2025. Camera was not overheating, it was just full. It was full. So I deleted stuff. And now my contacts are bugging me. Anyway, so their stocking was DK weight, and I am going to be using sport weight. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. And these are matching colors for what they used. So it's red, white, winter night, turmeric, and forest heather. And this is going to make that cute, that cute stocking. They'll probably Christmas in July, because I think I'm kind of through with the winter making, and I want to get cracking on some of the springtime stuff, because yes. But I'm not quite done with the winter making because I need to finish Holly, and then I want to make Kniggsy for Valentine's Day because it's pink. I know I've talked about Kniggsy before. Here's the yarn. So this is the Twisted Tweed Sport. I just dropped one. And I'm using ones that were inspired by, it was a kit inspired by strawberries, plus another. So this one is Indulgence. This is more chocolate covered strawberries. Ruby Sweet. Strawberry Field. Hi. Frisia. Sorry, that was a puppy. And then I needed a fifth one that kind of went with it all. So I picked Blush Brush. Okay. Now, this is a sweater poncho swancho thing, and I love the cables. And again, I bought this yarn, and I think it was 2024. Was it 2024? It might have been 2025. I don't remember when I got the yarn, but it's time to make Knixie. And then I need to make the sister knit, what I'm calling the sister knit to my Skyline tee, and that's the Avenue tee. So the Avenue tee was done in the mint color of this yarn. This one is more baby blue. This is Rowan Superfine Merino 4-ply. I have, I think, about 6 or 7 of these. Yes, I know, 6, 7. Woo. And it's 50-gram balls. So make the Avenue tee with this. And then we're going to make another Royal We, also me and my friend, we're making the Uptown tee, also by Tori Yu. But that's going to be using the yarn that we dyed at Knitting Retreat. Now hers is more red, pink, purpley in color. Mine is reminiscent of a pumpkin patch. So this is the yarn that I dyed at Knitting Retreat. Now, I have never dyed yarn before. I thought it was so much fun. I want to do it again. And I'm, like tempted to start up a yarn dyeing business, but no. I just want to do it for fun, okay? So here's my pumpkin patchy yarn that I dyed at Retreat. Okay, here's this one. I should probably close the blinds. Now they're all pretty similar. And then this one. But I feel like in order to better showcase the variation in this yarn, it had to be a stockinette something or other. But stockinette bores me, so I need a little variety, which is ironic because a lot of the things that I want to make from like Petite Knit are stockinette. Here's that video. Anyway, Uptown tee. I really like the sleeve detailing, and it's going to look so good in this one. My friend already started hers, but since I'm doing by January, I'm setting my own rules, which means I'm not buying any patterns. Totally fine. We're already almost halfway through the month anyway, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll eventually get to working on this. And then there is all the sock yarn. Have I showed you? Probably. I think I showed you at the beginning. I think I showed you in one of the Vlogmas episodes where I talk about the yarn. Possibly. If not, maybe I did. I don't know. Here's the yarn again. So these are the Christmas socks I did for 2024 that I frogged and redid. And then I frogged them again because 2 times. I tried it twice. Still couldn't get the thing over my foot, over my heel, because a row of floats was too tight. This is the gingerbread socks from Charlotte Stone, from the, I think it was a pattern set. I think it came with the robins too. So I was using Madeline Tosh and um, the Sweet Tea Yarns by Molly Klein for these. I think the red was the Madeline Tosh. Yes, the red was the Madeline Tosh. It's What's Your Poinsettia? And then the Molly K, it's just the Sweet Tea Sock in the color Doily. Okay. Now I do have a different brown now that I could use for the gingerbread men, because what I was using before was still sock yarn, but it wasn't, it was a slightly thinner sock yarn. I was using the Barocco. I plan on doing a different brown this time, and we'll get these done. Maybe these will be the Christmas in July socks, along with the Arnie and Carlos stocking and all the Christmas embroidery. Maybe we'll do that. And then the other socks are DK weight socks. It's using what was left over from the socks I made for my husband. I completely take that back. This is the leftover. This is the Regia. Okay. This is the DK weight socks that mistakenly thought was fingering weight, and it's not. So I need to make myself some DK weight socks. Okay. And then I have another one from Knit Picks, Felici. It's the color Beach Cruiser. And I have a brown to pair with this for heels and toes. So I haven't used this one yet. Maybe I'll give maybe my middle wants it, because my middle wants another pair of socks. I am currently working on a pair of socks for my youngest. Those are black and white because black is his favorite. So maybe for my middle. And then I have a whole nother ball of West Yorkshire Spinners. I used this for socks for my oldest. This is the spring green. So I have one. I haven't touched this one. And then I have a whole nother like half of one, maybe even more than half of one up there somewhere. So I have these to play with. And then there's the yarn that I got at Retreat. So these sets come from Jada Woo Designs, and it's a tweed sock set. So there's the blue tweed with the brown mini. And then there's the brown tweed with the blue mini. So obviously I need tweed yarn, tweed socks, tweed socks. I probably will do vanilla socks on these because I want to be able to make them while I'm out of the house and I don't want to rely on a pattern. Vanilla socks is the easiest. I'm probably going to be a little controversial in this, in that I don't see the need for your socks to have lacy designs or pretty cables or anything like that if no one's going to see your socks. Unless you're walking around in your Birkenstocks, no one's going to be looking at your feet asking, hey, let me see your socks. Let me see your feet, unless they're weirdos. So vanilla socks for the tweed. Because yes. And then I have some more that I was going to do socks, but now I'm second guessing myself because I do that. So this was always going to be socks. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do a mini with it for heels, toes, and cuffs, or if it's just going to be all of this. This comes from Always Be Kind yarn, and this is dyed specifically for the retreat for 2025. It's the Wild Poppy Remix. So those are going to be fun. Now, what color for contrasting? I don't know. Maybe I do a contrasting? Haven't decided yet. And then I have from Quantum Entanglement. This color is Infinite Hots Dots, something like that. Apparently I can't read today. Ugh. Okay, so we came undone. Anyway, it has some fun pops of that neon in there. So I was thinking also socks for this, possibly. Um, I don't know. Because then I was also thinking Musselburgh hat. But the Musselburgh hat angers me. Or not angers me, annoys me. Yeah. And then here's a local yarn. This is Trilogy Yarns. I got first these minis in the um she had bucket full of envelopes and they had coupons in them or random minis. And so I got these. Can you see that? Okay. And then I wanted a yarn that would go with all three of them. And so I grabbed the Yak sock in the color Electric Lime. Now you put this with these minis and I think they work. Is there a way to hold these so you can see them? See, I think all of those minis go with this. But then I think maybe I can use these for something else. I don't know, which is why I haven't made a decision on if this will be socks or not. There's those. But I didn't count these last three in with the sock count because I'm undecided on those. And then I have a whole bunch of leftover sock yarn for scrappy socks if I want to do scrappy socks, or if I want to do like the Sweet Shop blanket or the Stella or something else. Wool and Pine just came out with this beautiful thing that is perfect for all of those little bits. And I could do that too. But I'm undecided. So until I decide what to do with them, they're not going to be on any list. I think that's all I've got for project planning for 2026. I do have 8 things to finish that are carryovers. I went over them in everything I made in 2025 very briefly, but we're just going to finish them as the year goes on. We are not going to do finish it February again because I tried that last year, and I think that combined with teaching knit class and just it kind of broke my brain, and so I did not knit for a month and a half. So we're not doing finish it February because that's just too much pressure. So we're gonna oh, and that count is not including the giant playing card blanket. Okay, that's because that's not for me. So we have all of that that I can make without having to go to the store. That's a lot of craft projects. That was my phone. And then in order to decide which ones I make first, they're numbered on my list, and I have a 20-sided die. So we're going to roll this and see which one comes up first. Here's to stash busting for 2026, resisting the call of the yarn and the sales, and only buying it when you actually have a project in mind. I have an empty shadow box thing here. We're going to roll the dice and see what's the first thing that we make once we make significant progress on something. You ready? This is going to be good. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.